As the second week of this war trudges on, there's a part of Iran's retaliation strategy that isn't getting nearly enough attention, viewer, and it's keeping people in Washington up at night. Everyone is focused, as you know, on the missiles hitting US bases, the drones striking airports, the ships in the Strait of Hormuz, the oil fields on fire. But quietly, methodically, Iran has been taking out something far more strategically damaging to the United States. The radar systems that are the eyes and ears of America's entire missile defense architecture in the Middle East. And to some extent, it's actually been working. Now, here's what's been hit. In Jordan, at the Mufawak Salti Air Base, one of America's most critical regional hubs, loaded with American fighter jets, a radar that guides America's terminal high-altitude air defense, or THAAD system, was destroyed recently. That system was watching the skies over the eastern Mediterranean and the Levant for long-range ballistic missile attacks. It's lying in a burnt, mangled heap right now. In Qatar, a building-sized, three-phased phased array radar providing full 360-degree coverage of the entire Gulf for American missile defense took a direct hit from an Iranian missile. This system costs over $1 billion, according to some estimates. It doesn't simply keep an eye on Iran. It watches Yemen, the sea lanes, the Persian Gulf, everything. Damaged on day one, completely out of action. In the United Arab Emirates, across from the Persian Gulf, two THAAD radar sites of the United States, Al Ruwais and Al Sadr, were struck with such precision that satellite imagery shows both sites were hit almost identically. Now, these covered the lower Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz approaches. Near the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, another THAAD radar site has been hit and is burning. And there are indications that Israel's Arrow missile defense radar at Sderot Mitzah was also targeted. Now, here's what makes all of this so alarming. These radars, and you probably haven't even seen pictures of them, these radars are the first link in an entire decision-making chain that is at the very heart of American missile defense in the region. They spot a launch, track the arc, classify the threat, and give the United States and its allied commanders the critical seconds needed to decide whether to fire an interceptor, and more importantly, what kind of interceptor. If you break that chain by damaging these very, very high-performance radars, the intercept rates could actually fall. Missiles could get through as they are. And in a worst-case scenario, you lose the ability to confidently tell a regional strike from something aimed at your homeland. Now, that compression of decision-making time in a crisis is where accidents and miscalculations could potentially become catastrophic. The widely respected American defense portal, the War Zone, has a lead story up on its website on what they say is a major wake-up call and deserves full credit for surfacing and reporting this story. Only 16 of the primary terminal high-altitude air defense radar types were ever built by the United States for that shield of missile defense in the region. For all its customers worldwide, they take years to replace. Each one of these radars that have been destroyed cost hundreds of millions, sometimes $1 billion each. And Iran didn't need anything exotic or high performance to destroy them. Cheap one-way attack drones and surface-level ballistic missiles have been enough to punch through these fragile arrays and take them offline potentially for months. A multi-billion-dollar air defense network unraveled by something that costs less than a second-hand car.